Hey everybody, it's Brock and we got a brand new episode of All About today. Glad y'all are here. Today we are learning all about the multicolor angelfish, or as other people like to call them, the Pastel Pygmy Angelfish or the Pearlback Angelfish. These guys are super pretty and a great one to add. Prices on them, they're pretty steep. You'll normally spend about $100 to get one, but online, the places that I've seen that are actually in stock, they're selling them for about 150 to 200. So you'll definitely pay a pretty penny to get this guy in your tank. Tank size, you'll need about a 75 gallon. A good 4-foot tank across gives them plenty of swimming room to go around and have a good time. Care level, it is moderate. Temper, they can be semi-aggressive. Angels can sometimes be like tangs, and whenever they're in a tank for longer periods of time, they tend to become the kings and queens of the tank, so they'll definitely be aggressive towards those new additions of fish that you add to your tank. So you can definitely bet they'll be territorial as they get older in the tank. Reef compatibility with caution. With me and angels, I never like to put them in my reef tanks. It's just too much of a risk for me. For me, it's like a 50-50 chance if you get one. Some people will get these pygmy angelfish and they do fine in a coral tank. They'll never pick at anything and they'll just go around grazing on hair algae. But then you'll hear a total opposite story, and I've seen it happen, where they'll put a pygmy angel in their coral tank and it just would not stop picking at everything it could bite. So with that, you're just kind of risking it if you want to put them in a coral tank. The ones I've seen do really well. It's just kind of by chance. Temperature, you want to keep it 72 to 78. I always like to keep mine right on 78. DKH 8 to 12. pH 8.1 to 8.4, and your salinity 1.020 to 1.025. Max size these guys can get is about 3 to 4 inches, so not too big. Like they said, they are a pygmy angelfish, so they're not going to get huge like your big Korans or anything like that. Colors on them, so they got a real nice white, yellow, and black body all mixed together, and then it's the blue that really catches your eye. He has blue accents all over his head and on his fins. He's really pretty. Diet, they are an omnivore, so they're going to be eating plenty of meaty foods and a ton of algae to stay healthy. So a lot of times we like to recommend feeding them the little frozen cubes. They have a mysis blend. They got brine. I mean, they got all kinds of stuff that you can get. The spirulina is one of their favorites because it already has the algae mixed in with it, so they'll love that. But I also like to feed them algae on a clip at the same time. So sea veggies are always what I go for. I'll normally cut a little square of that and put it on a clip and cut little slits in it, and they can go and pick on that all day. What that's going to do is this algae will keep their colors looking really nice. It'll keep them really healthy, and it just keeps all those diseases and pests off of them. They tend to be a lot happier whenever they got a bunch of algae in their system. Origin, so they do come from the Marshall Islands, which is why their price can be a little steep at times, and why most places have them out of stock. They're pretty rare in the fish stores, so every time you see one, it's a pretty rare sight. Compatibility, just ask. So with pygmy angels, I have seen them do well whenever they are put together with other angelfish, but it's best to add them at the same time, because if not, if you try to have him in your tank for a year and then you think, let's throw a flame angel in there, that guy is going to be way too territorial over the tank and tends to fight them. So if you do want to mix two pygmy angels together, please add them at the same time, and it'll be much better on your luck if they get along and not fight. This is a deep water swimmer of a fish, so you want to have plenty of caves and rock structure in the tank. He loves going through to those dark places in the tank and hanging out, because a lot of times they just don't see a lot of light during the day. So make sure you have tons of good structure in there that he can go and be comfortable in and hide. They love picking at the rocks too, so it's good to have a lot of live rock in your tank, because he's going to be constantly picking at the rocks looking for algae, which also is a turn down for if you have a coral tank, because picking at rocks means he's picking at the coral. For whatever reason, it is a very extremely sensitive fish to copper-based medication, so sometimes you tend to have to do a freshwater dip instead in case he has any issues, because for some reason that copper is just too tough on him. But that pretty much wraps it up for the multicolor angelfish. Main things is if you want to put him in a coral tank, just beware he can go to picking the fire out of your coral. They're going to be going after those soft and stony corals, and even your clam mantles. They can be very picky. So if you're going to risk it, you just got about a 50-50 chance to see if he does pick at your corals or not. If you do add them with another angelfish, just make sure to put them in at the same time. And they tend to be a lot less aggressive towards each other because they tend to be territorial at the same time. So they kind of mellow out and equal out since they're both got in the tank at the same time. But other than that, hope you'll have a great day. Hope you'll have a good week this week. Stay positive, and I will talk to y'all later. Make sure to like and subscribe this video. Check out my other videos. I got plenty of them out there on fish and corals and just ways to take care of your tank better. If you want to, you can send some comments down below. I'd love to reach out to y'all. Or if you want to meet me on my social medias, they are in the description. Y'all can follow me and we can chat it up. All right, I'll talk to y'all later.